Good afternoon, traders. CRUS here with your midday market pulse for Monday, May 3rd. Okay, it's 1:15 as I'm starting the video. Just thought I'd give you guys a quick update on where we're at. Starting with the SPY 2-hour, not a whole lot going on. I think for swing traders on slightly larger time frames, I think the key is either a breakout above 420 or a breakdown below the trend line here and this 416.75 level. Unless you want to try and trade these little micro moves, let's jump over to the 30-minute chart. These little micro moves, I think you're better off trying to wait until we get a range breakout. Then you can really shoot against a line knowing that we either have broken out or have broken down. But like I said, I think the key for the downside is this trend line and this 416.75. Other than that, I think you're just little tactical shorts here or there. I mean, it's easy to get chopped up in that. The moves have been really erratic and not very meaningful in the long run. So this morning we came up, gapped higher, filled this gap from last week, reached right up here to 420 where it was rejected, and we've been trading down ever since. Notice that we've got a gap from this morning that has yet to fill, so you can mark that level there at basically 418. A move below that, you probably get this gap fill and maybe even come down here to this 416.75, which you can tell, I mean, support all in here. It's an important number. It's been, we've been in a trading range for at least a week in this area, so any kind of break below could really open up some downside. And by the same token, breaking out above 420 would really open up some running room into blue sky territory. Qs have been softer, chopping around here between 340 and 336. We can get some good clarity on the 30-minute chart. We had this opening move higher. This would have been a really nice shorting location if you caught it. I saw it, and it doesn't take long to, just the slightest bit of hesitation, you guys know you missed that entry, and then you're down in here and much less objective. But anyways, got rejected from this 340 and came right back down to the top of this gap at 335.85. and have subsequently tagged it a couple of times. So now this 337.25, instead of being support here, I should have changed that to red. Now it's resistance. So if you get a kickback into 337.25, that would be certainly an objective area to try a short. And I think if we came back down again, I think we would fill this gap here and then come on down to 335. And that is 335 is a big level, because you can see support here. And if we even go back in the chart, there was support even farther back. And then below that area, we've got another gap here. Let's just call it 334. Down to 331.62, and that would put us below this trend line and kind of open up this idea of a double top and then a move down towards 324. So again, for longer term swing traders, I think you got to key off at 334 in this downtrend line. As long as it holds above that, I think the bulls are still in control. Nothing has broken down, but you get below that trend line, fill this gap, then I think you're coming down in here to the 324s. IWM whole bunch of nothing today. Got rejected at 228, came back down, filled the gap. We'll see that right here. Here was the initial move higher. That got faded, and then they came down here to 225 and filled the gap, and we've put in a little bounce thus far. I think this afternoon, if you got a move above 227, you could take that long and look for like 228. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty tight trading in here. Nothing majorly compelling, I don't think. If you got a breakdown below 225.50, I think that's a level you could try a short and look for taking out this prior low and moving down to 223. Another way to play that is just wait for the lows to be taken out and then get short for the next leg down. It's another way to play it. Facebook has been weak. Down here at the bottom of its bracket that we had, tested 331 a couple times, but is holding above. If you're a bull and you think things are bullish, you can certainly be long against 321.61, the bottom of the bracket here. But if you move into the bracket, then you into this gap, you've got to abandon the long idea and then consider taking a short with a stop just above. Apple has been soggy. Had an initial pop up here to 133, which was rejected. Now we're just kind of oscillating here between 131.50 and 133. I think if you got a move back down to 131.50, you can try a long there. That's objective. Or if 133 is recaptured, you can look for 134, but not real big moves there to be had short term. You just got to play level to level, and if it's worth it to you to try and play for $1, by all means do that. What I'd rather see you do is, at either the top or the bottom of the range, try a short or try a long, and then you can play for something a little bit more substantial, $2.50, $3, something like that. Tesla, this 708, 707.50 area again proved to be important. We got this impulsive bounce on Friday. That was rejected today. And so we're back down here into the 685 area. Really no man's land as far as I'm concerned. You either took it short here at the open and you're still short looking for a move down to 670, or you're not in it. But either way, you got to wait for either a move back up to resistance or a move down to support before you've got an objective level to shoot against. Right here at 685, I don't really see anything particular to do there. Microsoft opened up into 254, which we said was our pivot, and got rejected from there. Now it's down in the 252 area. If you got short here, great. You should stay short against that level and see if you get a move back down into 250, 249. But right here, I don't think there's a whole lot to do if you're not already in it. Amazon, Free 50 Club delivered. Had the open up here in the 34.75 area. They faded that. Once you broke 34.50, that was a signal to get short, and now it moved down to 3,400, and that's a big level. That was an important level on the weekly chart. We had a breakout above 3,400 on the weekly chart. You really don't want to come back down into this range. I mean, they've put a $150 fade ever since the opening pop on earnings. So very poor price action. I don't know if that's Jeff and Mackenzie selling or what it is. It really doesn't matter. It's been very poor price action. Now you can be long against 3,400, But if 3,400 breaks, I'd be looking for 3,350. Google, walking a fine line right here in this $50 gap. Yeah, we're 23.46 right now. I had the gap marked at 23.53. If you got short on that, I think it's fine to stay short with a stop just above. And if things start getting crazy, you may just get that gap fill down here to 2,300, where the earnings, where it was prior to earnings. So right now it's vulnerable. Anything below 23.53 is technically in that gap. So the door is open for a down move. If I think the market's going to need to give it a push for that to happen, but you got to be in it to win it, right? So, I mean, you're technically in the gap. So if you want to be short, now's the time to do it with a stop just above. Netflix, I thought this might have been real this morning. I didn't take a position, but I was watching it closely. Had a move above 515. Threatening a breakout, but they faded it right away, and then now back down below 507.50. We're on the south side of this trading range. So if you're actively trading it, if you were to recover 507.50, you can take a long there and try and see if you can get a move back up to 515. I'm not really doing anything with this. Technically right now the door is open for a move back down to 500. That would be a nice location to try a long and then be ready to go short if that fails, because that 500 level was really, really important if you go back into the charts. Twitter, we had a breakdown this morning and getting a little bounce here. What I wanted to show you is on the daily chart, you can see Twitter is wrestling with the 200 EMA right here at 54. If you're not in it, I think the play is to switch over to the daily chart, and then if you get closes below the 200, then I think the door is open for a move down into the 49 to 45 area, where you've got this next big volume over price support bar. So unless and until Twitter can recapture this, let's see what it was exactly. Till it can recover 55, I think you're fine on the short side, and especially if it loses the 200 here at 54, then I think the door opens for further downside. Skyworks got a nice move this morning, breaking down from our bracket trade at 180, got a fast move down to 176. Now you can see it's at support with this large volume over price bar there. If you had gotten 180 puts or just shorted the common right now, if you were in 180 puts, I would roll those down or either just close it out for the quick $4 win and then reinitiate that short if this fails here at like 175.50, because if that fails, then you're coming back down to this prior low down towards 167. So, I mean, this is, I would assume this is a flat bear flag at support. And if the semis stay weak, I think this is going to break, and I think it's going to come down here for another measured move down towards 167, 168. Cirrus Logic got rejected here into this, the opening gap here from Friday's gap down, got rejected there, and now it's backing off. I continue, just keep your alarms here. at 75 and 71 and be ready to move on that, especially on a breakdown below 71 if things start getting soft. Pinterest got the breakdown here from 65.50. Now has moved down towards 64. Let's take a look at the daily real quick. You got the 200 coming in at 61. So I think there's some downside here to 61. Then you'll be, see how price handles the 200. It may find support in that area and then bounce up. But I think if you got short quickly on the breakdown, I think you can stay in that position until at least it tags the 200 down here at 61. Peloton on the daily got the breakdown from 98. We're sitting here at 95.50. You can see this void here that goes down towards 85. If you got short here, I still like that with your stop just above, and I think this heads lower. It's down below all the moving averages, and it just lost key support. I think it's going to be coming down into the low 80s. Semiconductor ETF, SMH. We had proposed a trade on Friday to get short. That worked out well. Came down here, had a little bounce in the morning. They faded that and then broke support down here to 240. You can see that there's a large volume over price bar down here at 236 and change, something like that. If you're short, I would stay short. You may see a kickback to resistance and then lower, but pretty weak price action. We've gone from 254 to 240, over the last week, and had several opportunities to break out, which were faded. So I think this is the door is certainly open for lower prices. And if you had gotten short either last week or this morning, I would stay short. Feel free to move your stops down if you want, but I think the door is definitely open for lower prices. I want to take a quick look at gold. Got a good pop on gold this morning. It's up about $25 to $30. You can see here that price is wrestling with the 200 EMA. It really needs to pop that 168. If it can pop 168, I think the door is open to 171, which would be nice. And if you're looking at gold futures, a lot of you have that, either follow that chart or have that on your, on your platform. 1800, there's a level there between 1800 and 1804 that gold needs to clear. It made a run this morning towards 1800 and kind of got rejected there. It's backed off a little bit. If you see gold pop 1804 and you're not in it, I think that would be a level that you could try on gold futures to be long. But anyhow, anything above the 200 here opens the door up to 171 and possibly even 174. So gold is looking better with today's move. And silver's up nicely. It's up 4%. I think here, as long as it can hold this 2440, the door's open to 26. And then above 26, then you really got some upside running room. So the metals are looking better. I know some of you are in Kirkland Lake. That's up about 4.5% this morning. So that was a nice move after several days of softness in gold. So we'll see if that can get a follow through later on this week. So anyhow, that's all I've got for you. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the alarm bell so you don't miss a thing going forward. Also, you can register for all my content over in the show notes. There's a link to do that. You'll also get an invite to our trading room. We'd love to have you in there. Lots of good guys and gals trading every day, working hard to get better. So we would really appreciate you coming aboard. Be glad to have you. For the rest of you, thanks for tuning in. And let's see how we wrap up today. See if we can get some momentum to the upside, or if things stay soggy and we kind of chop around in this range. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Have a good day of trading, and talk to you next time.